Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. So I want to thank all of my special subscribers. I really appreciate you. You are part of my journey. You're part of my purpose, a big, big part of my purpose. And without you, well, there's no sense in me being here, right? So thank you for joining in. Again, I really appreciate you. And all the likes, all the comments, all the subscribes, and the shares, okay? And if you feel like donating to the cause, it surely would be appreciated. It's not required, okay? And I want to thank God for the opportunity that we can all come together. So I'm going to go right to Proverbs. Let's see. I think I read that one already. Okay. Oh, let me back up a little bit. Okay, let's go to Proverbs 27. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth. Let another praise you, and not your own mouth, someone else, and not your own lips. Stone is heavy, and sand a burden, but provocation by a fool is heavier than both. Anger is cruel, and fury overwhelming, but who can stand before jealousy? Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. He who is full loathes honey, but to the hungry even what is bitter tastes sweet. Like a bird that strays from its nest is the man who strays from his home. Perfume and incense bring joy to the heart, and the pleasantness of one's friend springs from his earnest counsel. Do not forsake your friend and the friend of your father, and do not go to your brother's house when disaster strikes. Better a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. Be wise, my son, and bring joy to your heart. Then I can answer anyone who treats me with contempt. The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and suffer for it. Take the garment of one who puts up security for a stranger. Hold it in pledge if he does it for a wayward woman. If a man loudly blesses his neighbor early in the morning, it will be taken as a curse. A quarrelsome wife is like a constant dripping on the rainy day. Restraining her is like restraining the wind or grasping oil with the hand. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. He who tends a fig tree will eat its fruit, and he who looks after his master will be honored. As water reflects the face, so a man's heart reflects the man. Death and destruction are never satisfied, and neither are the eyes of man. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but man is tested by the praise he receives. Though you grind a fool in a mortar, grinding him like grain with a pestle, you will not remove his folly from him. Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herds, for riches do not endure forever, and a crown is not secure for all generations. When the hay is removed and new growth appears, and the grass from the hills is gathered in, the lambs will provide you with clothing, and the goats with the price of a field. You will have plenty of goat's milk to feed you and your family and to nourish your servant girls. That was the whole section of Proverbs 27. So quite some interesting parables in there. Okay, I'm going to move forward to miracles now. And today we have, I measure my success by how much fun I'm having. Right? If you don't have pleasure in what you do, well, I guess it's still a form of success, right? But, you know, the great thing about, like doing something you're passionate about, there seems to always be good stories to come from it. You know, even being passionate about love. I'm a lover of love. I'd love to make comments about beautiful flowers, about beautiful sunsets, about gorgeous sunrises, about a beautiful rainbow. I'm very passionate about praying for rain to fill up our reservoirs. I'm passionate about cleansing the world, and you know, COVID was a sense of cleansing. I have this idea in my mind that it was COVID that was like one of the government's secret weapons. And I feel like during Trump's, well, he was president, I know he met with that Chinese president and they didn't like each other. But then the next time they met, they liked each other. And then shortly after that, COVID broke out. So, I mean, it's just one of those, theories. So whatever the Chinese president, he had to give up something. If this is like a true story, right? He had to give up something in order to get the control of some COVID, right? And if it was in fact a secret weapon that our government had, there was some sort of exchange, right? However, I believe that the Chinese government wanted to reduce their population and they were willing to do whatever. What happened was they forgot about the borders. They forgot about all the people traveling in and all the people traveling out. And that's how it exploded into a pandemic. Of course, the spiritual side of me says, when we pray for our world to be cleansed, God will come in, in a mighty way. COVID, unfortunately, takes the weak, right? If you're unhealthy and you're unable to fight the disease, then, you perish, right? And not to say all the people that were taken from COVID were bad people, but sometimes you have to take the good and the bad, right? So I look at it in that sense, from a perspective of a spiritual side of God cleansing the earth. It really changed how we do business. It really changed, it changed a lot. A lot of people are working from home now. And, I have a girlfriend who works at a bank, and she was trying to tell me they built this new bank, and it has all this. It has a workout center, and it has this and that, water fountains every so often, very upscale office building. And then COVID hit. I said, wouldn't it have been better if the bank just gave all the employees the money that they used to build that building, because now everybody's working from home, a lot of people. And of course, banks still have their ATMs to maintain, and then their customer service, the walk-ins and that sort of thing. But a lot of the other staff are working from home now. And And it's not just at her bank, it's at many other banks. So, you know, I feel like because of COVID, there are more people working from home, which means there's less cars on the road, which means that there should be a reduced of the pollution that goes, you know. So I guess in the long term, it's good. But I think the world has to change still more. I mean, we got pollution issues. We have rising cost of everything going up. And, you know, I try to tell people, look, you should invest if you're young. And, you know, if you think you're going to be around for another 40 years, you should invest. And they're not really trusting it because, well, they just don't trust it. It's something that they fear, or they have too much anxiety. And what I tell them is, you know, when I was a kid, gas was 35 cents a gallon. What is it now? It's like 2,000% more. Gas, you'll never see gas at 35 cents a gallon again. Some places they're lucky to have gas around $2. You know, I live in California, it's $5. So, and we have a lot of the, you know, when I was growing up, we had a whole bunch of those little grasshoppers. We call them grasshoppers because they're the pumpers, right, to get the oil. And years ago, we had a whole slew of them, but, well, I'm sure they're still around. But I feel like young people don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, and they're fearful, but it's fear-based, right? And God willing, the world will be around for, you know, another 200 years, another 400 years. And by the time, you know, 200 years, we'll all be dead. 400 years, that's a total given, right? But if we are working today to be successful in life, so that our generations following can have something to take with them, right? Something to leave them. Having success means that, you know, you're taking pride in your work. If you're an entrepreneur, you know, there's feast and famine. You have to be ready for those times. But how many great stories do you get, you know, when you have success? And I say entrepreneurship because I think a lot of people are really tired of working for other people. And some people are meant to do that. Some people are okay to work someplace for 40 years. I never was that person. Once I got the taste of entrepreneur, which was my real estate license, it's just not something I could ever go back to, is working a regular 40-hour-a-week job. And I'm not even sure if I shared this on this platform or not, but my first year in real estate, I had 7 settlements. So it was in Delaware, so everything's really a lot less expensive. From, you know, around 2000 is when I started, before I moved out to Hawaii. But 7 settlements. When I was working out in Hawaii, and my now ex-husband and I were working together, we worked for a broker that, he was from like the San Francisco area, but he had some properties out there on Oahu. And I asked him how much 7 settlements would be, like what would the commission be like if it was San Francisco or Hawaii. He said, oh, your commission probably would have been about $500,000. So I was on the right track, just not in the right state. I was in the, you know, not state like state of mind, but I was in the wrong state. But even in Delaware, that was a success. It was a success that shook my broker, because he called me in to his office, and I thought, oh gosh, what did I do now? And he's like, come in, have a seat, you know, relax. And he says, So, you know, you had 7 settlements last year. He's like, do you know how rare that is? He said, most people are lucky if they get one their first year. And he said, what's your secret? I said, I don't really have a secret. I said, I treat people the way I would want to be treated. So, you know, people can read energies, right? And, you know, sometimes if false things have been said about you, it takes a while for it to get cleared up. And so what I'm saying is, if other people had negative words to say about me in that situation, I don't really know. I'm guessing there was probably some things were said, you know, because I was actually the only brown person in that office. There was one guy who was half white and half Japanese, and you know, he was kind of upscale because his wife was a registered nurse. So, you know, nurses make like $50 an hour or more, and they work a lot of overtime and that sort of thing. So he was free will to sell or buy, you know, for his agents, for his clients, at his leisure. I had to work to make money, and I was blessed to have 7 settlements. So it took my broker, you know, he had to step back a little bit. Well, once that happened, I had put out these beautiful real estate cards. You know, they cost a lot of money to buy. They have like gold leafed on it and stuff. And I sent them out, and I noticed that all these other people in my office were getting these listings. And what I did was I took the 3 main veins, north and south, because Delaware's a long state, and I converted from the county maps for the ownership of all the properties on the north to south bounds. Like I said, there's 3, and I sent out like 100 cards. And then someone ended up with a listing in Seaford, which was on the main road. And then my broker, let's see, there's a development that's off the main road, but it's a real prestigious, I don't remember the name of it, but Oprah Winfrey had bought in one of the lots, and she didn't actually buy the lot, okay? However they do it, I think you have to buy it, but it's leased still. It's leased land, but she claimed one of 2 lots that gave you the whole panoramic view of the waterway into the ocean. And I think that was like Rehoboth Bay or something. Anyway, so I marketed that street because I said to myself, well, okay, all those people go in there, and yeah, they're beautiful homes, and you're buying the home, but you're leasing the land, and then you have association dues, and I think this association dues were like $900 a month for Delaware. That's very pricey in that part of you know, southern Delaware. So I said, I'm gonna find someone to list on this road, so when the people come out and they say, oh, it's too much, they're gonna see my sign and they're going to say, oh, let's call her. Well, my broker ended up getting that listing, and he said it was a friend of his, which I could feel his energy. I knew he was lying. And then another piece of property came up, and it was the dude that was half Filipino, or half Japanese, I'm sorry. And he got the listing, and I asked him, I said, did they say my name? And then he was like, yeah. I said, well, then that's my listing. So I had to take it up with the broker, and we were to split it if it ever sold. However, so what happened was, because I had 7 settlements in 1 year, and the broker he must have thought I wasn't worthy of it or whatever. I don't really know. But he had told the secretary, any calls that come in for her, give them to the other agents or me. So, you know, working for nothing. I was working for everybody else. So I had to leave there and go somewhere else. And it's just a shame how people measure their success on how well they keep their position, and they try to screw people who obviously have a little more intellect than they do. And it makes them, they have to reflect on themselves. Oh, she had 7 settlements and she's a nobody. Because he asked me, he's like, how did you get 7 settlements? Are these people you worked with before, people you know, relatives? And I was like, I didn't know any of them. I treated them the way that I would want to be treated. And that is true success, when you have integrity, right? So this broker, it was a hand-me-down job. His dad was the original broker for that office for 40 years, and then he retired and passed it on to his son. So his son, really, he didn't have to do any sales, really. He got a commission off everybody in the office. So, anyways, you live and you learn, right? You live and you learn. You learn who's for you and who's not for you. And if they're not for you, then you have to move on, and you have to be okay to move on. You have to be okay to make that risk, take that risk to move on. Otherwise, if I stayed in that office, I would, I paid for the cards. I paid for the stamps. I should get the calls. So instead of the broker saying, hey, yeah, you did 7, but I don't want you here, he let me just linger around until the secretary finally felt bad for me and said, look, if you go to him, I'll lose my job. But I'm telling you, this is what he told me. So as I had to do my job because I need to make money for my family. But I'm letting you know, this is what he told me. You're not getting any calls. No calls will be forwarded to your cell phone. No calls. All calls will go to the agents on or him. So you see I was having a lot of fun, right? I got to find out who was for me and who wasn't. So I measure my success by how much fun I'm having. I have fun. I want to embrace people. I want to be honest with people. I want to show that I'm a person of integrity. And, if I'm going to do a good job for them, I always say I will do my best, to help get this to where you need it to be, whether you're buying or selling or whatever. And I actually qualified them, Usually the client is supposed to qualify the agent. Oh, are they qualified? Oh, how many sales have they had? Oh, how many this, how many that? I qualified them if they wanted to sell, because I know the value. I know the value of things, right? I mean, 50 years ago, the gas was 80 cents a gallon, or, yeah, I think it was about 80 cents a gallon. It's never going to be 80 cents. That tells you that if you buy a house today, it might have a wave in it where it goes, it dips down and goes back up. But it's always going to pay for itself if you hold on to it long enough. So that's another beautiful thing about the people of Hawaii, is they have some houses, they have 4 generations there. So the great grandparents built it at the turn of the century. I'm talking the turn of the century, 1900. And from there, how many generations do you have? You have 5 generations. So if the children are still living there and they've learned that their money that they go to work for is valuable, and they do what they need to do to keep the house up, to keep the value up, to make sure it's still standing, and then they save their money, they could afford to send their kids to private school, which is about $30,000 a year. and they'll still have money if both parents are working. So that's the beauty of a lot of people in Hawaii, is they value that. They value what their ancestors did to do hard work, so that when they came up, they didn't have to work that hard to, establish a home, right? It's different things like that. There's different ways of having success. Success is how you see it and how things work out for you. I've been divorced twice, so you know that, well, I'm not one of those ladies that require, I guess I was entitled to the first one. I was married just a few months shy of 20 years. So I was already entitled to 10 years of alimony. I told the judge, I don't want anything from him. I don't want alimony from him. Maybe that's dumb, but I believe maybe I did earn it. Maybe I did deserve it. But I still consider it dirty money. I consider it money that is not, I don't even want to touch it, because the marriage was false. It wasn't even real. And I don't know. You got me. I was married twice, divorced twice, and the second one we just sold off everything and split it. And we sold it off for real cheap, But, no matter how bad he was to me, I say we'll just go 50-50 to make sure that I do my my fair share, and make it equal. And my integrity is my success. And yeah, I have a lot of good stories. I have a lot of good stories, good and bad stories. But anyways, everybody measures success in their own way. And, find your happiness. If you're at a job where you're miserable, that's not a good story to tell, right? If that's the case, you should try to reach out and, try to find something else that you find pleasure in. And this is where I find a lot of my pleasure now. So I have time to meditate. I have time to get my cards together, to do the right shuffling, to, spiritually, I want God to be here with us. And I want God to touch the cards, and I want to read them for you. And I want to hope and pray with you to help you come out of a bad situation or a bad feeling or something from the past, some healing. Those are great attributes for you to have, that, hey, I had this feeling of, not being good enough, not having enough, and then this tarot lady said, you have everything you need within you, because whatever you are destined to do, it was written in the stars, right? Before you were born, you were up there with God, and you said, God, I want to try this thing here in this lifetime. I want to try to see how it is to struggle working at a job that I began to love it, but at one point we had a turnover on people, and all of a sudden the people started changing, the rules started changing. Now I really don't like it. I want to be able to experience that, because if someone just tells me a story, it's really, you can sort of feel it, but you can't really feel it unless you've been through it, right? But anyway, so, anything I say, I feel like it's God telling me to, tell a story, right? Tell a story, a true story. But if you want to tell a make-up story, then just tell them you're making up a story. It's somehow it came across your mind, and you're speaking the story. But let's not babble on about it. Success is what you want it to be. Success is what you're willing to do to achieve it. Success is how it makes you feel. And success you know, I can't take this success and say it's all me. You guys are part of it, right? You guys are here with me. If you weren't here with me, there's no reason for me to talk and take the time to post it and take the time to make sure it posts correctly and repost it. You know, it's my success is because you guys are here, because God has given me this opportunity. And I feel like God wants me to reach out to people to help them find what their success is, okay? To help them heal things. It's really successful to know that you healed from something that was on your back, you know, the monkey on your back, you know, to heal that and monkey, get off my back. That's not part of me anymore. I don't want to even think about it. I learned my lesson. I'm going to take it with some wisdom and move forward. So success is different for everybody. So I hope and pray that you find your success and God brings it to you. Okay? All right. Next, we have Divine Feather. Here's the feather. It's white. I wonder what it is. It's the white swan. The white swan is in the front of the book, and it has I don't know. It's the front part of the book is like special for some reason, and it has the writing's a little bit longer, I think. White swan. Okay. Swans are mighty in size and power, yet soft with their effortless glide and motion. The swan has long been a symbol of beauty, grace, fidelity, and partnership. The symbolism is enhanced by the color white, the color of healing, purity, and the angelics. Swan is also a symbol for transformation. Many folk tales use swan to illustrate the shift from a duckling or a child self into the fullness of maturity. Goddesses have also chosen swan as their mount, like the divine goddess Saraswati, who unites with the healing element of water in her quest for wisdom, knowledge, and the arts. The white swan brings with it the message that the power of divine grace is indeed with you and within you. Your connection to Source is powerful, and the healing potential is connected with your collected merits in the form of grace. Now is the time to embrace these divine gifts where you most need support. That healing may be in the form of a blessing over a current situation or transformation occurring in your life. Know that the divine messengers are assisting you now. You have the power through your own grace to move through any situation or challenge you are facing in a smooth, harmonious way. The energies is grace, beauty, fidelity, transformation. The season is summer. The element is water and air. The color is white for purity and healing. The affirmation: I now accept the gift of divine grace and choose to honor the power and healing light within. So you have healing light within, right? You have God within you. You have all the tools. God says you have all the tools to heal yourself. So I say if you're in your 50s, pay attention to your mind, body, and soul, as well as if you're younger. But if you're in your 50s, you know you're at the age where if you don't keep a muscle mass, if you don't have some sort of exercise routine, if you're just a couch potato, you gotta change that and start moving around. My exercise routine, I know I talked about my weights from the Gatorade bottles. I was doing that, but just what I was trying to do yesterday is every time I went into the living room, I tried to do 10 push-ups. And granted, my push-ups aren't like they were 40 years ago, okay? Even when I was at the UFC gym, my push-ups began a certain way and then it got better over time. So You do them the way that you can do them. And then eventually you'll work your way to the correct positions, but it's the idea of getting your upper strength, right? And then you can just add on different things. So you could try different things, and you know, of course, you want to eat better, not so much fat, you know, not so much butter, not so much soy sauce, okay? And just make sure you go to your doctor's appointments and get your blood work done and all that, and try to keep your numbers in between what's required to have good health. And the younger people, you should do it too, because the more that you love yourself, the more that you respect yourself, the more that you care for yourself. Well, that in itself is truly success, right? So, moving forward, we got native spirit, and we have the peace pipe. The peace pipe. Heal old wounds with people and situations. Carefully do whatever you need to do to make amends. Forgive yourself and forgive others. It's time. You no longer need to carry the burden. You are a mender. Help others mend bridges in their lives. You bring peace to the world. Your native spirit wants you to know, in native tradition, sharing a peace pipe filled with sacred tobacco and herbs was a way of finding common ground and dropping discord. It was a respite in order to calmly assess a situation and find a peaceful resolve. There are times to drop everything and leave. There are also times to carefully mend bridges with people, situations, and places. This is one of those healing times. Maybe there is a wound inside you that needs to be forgiven or accepted. Maybe you need to forgive yourself and forgive another. Transform the inner grievance. Do it now. You don't need to forgive the act, but there's power in forgiving the person. You no longer need to carry it with you. Perhaps there is a person from your past with whom you should reconnect. You know what you need to do. This is the time to do it. Write down the answer to these questions. If there was an area of my life to which I need to bring peace, what might it be? What's the first step that I need to take toward resolving a rift with another, or a feeling of unfinished regarding a person or situation? Then take action. Okay. So it does say that sometimes you just have to walk away, right? But knowing that there are some people in the world who, you know, they don't have enough life or enough things in their life to, like I can entertain myself. Okay, if it's not with the phone, it's with artwork, it's spending time with my dog, it's focusing on, you know, keeping my house together, and you know, every week is a different week. Every day is a different day. I don't vacuum every day. Maybe every other day, and different things like that. I have things that I can do to entertain myself. Some people are just living life like sort of like barely, right? Maybe due to their health, but you know, I always try to encourage people to, if you can't walk because your legs are too weak or your back's weak, well, you know, the only way to fix that is to go through the pain and make yourself walk. You know, how many times do you see people who, you know, they're just like, they're overweight and they have a hard time getting out of bed. Or, you know, are they trying to, you know, some people also, doesn't matter how much they eat or how much they don't eat, they just keep gaining weight. That's because the activity's not there. I've been one of those who really has been blessed in some ways is that I never did what I saw. You know what I mean? I've always been pretty active. And even now, I do take naps when I'm tired. But I have my dog, so I'm not sure how I would handle things when it's time for him to go. But I really get a lot of exercise, more so than someone who doesn't have a dog, right? But I also try to do like my push-ups or my weights or my aerobics I was doing, and I want to get back to all that because I was about 58. Let's see, how many years have I been here? Yeah, I was about 50, between 56 and 58 when I was leg pressing like 360. That's 445 weights on each side, right? 445, yeah, 180 and 180. But and the only reason, I think a lot of people were really amazed, but they didn't know that I did construction work. So doing construction work from 2011 to like 2017, say, I had 6 years of hauling around equipment and thin sets and tile and floor, like different flooring, windows, doors, drywall, 2x4s, there's a lot to carry, and there's a lot of work that's involved. It's not like, it's tiring in the way that physical, doing the other work, like behind a desk, that's also very taxing because you use a lot of your mind, right? You have to be organized, you have to answer the phone, you have to be able to do data entry while you're talking on the phone, you have to be able to take notes, you have to know who's who and how all the paperwork flows. And so that can be very taxing as well. So I've worked both jobs. I'd rather do the physical job because I am getting exercise. So, back in the days when I worked at the big box stores, I loved going out to collect the carts because the way I overcame it, a lot of people was like, I don't want to go out and get the carts. It's hot outside. I didn't have that mentality. I had that mentality, oh, they're paying me to exercise. So, it's how you look at things and how you approach them and how it makes you feel. If it makes you feel bad on a job, try to find some positivity in there, and keep the negativity away from you. People who want to gossip, I'll say, hey, that's not me. I don't really like doing that. I don't really want to hear it. I'm just here to work and get paid and go home. And, the ladies in the office, they didn't like that too much. But moving forward, we have messages from the mermaids. And this is acceptance. So as much as I accepted people and how they were, sometimes they had a hard time to accept me because I wouldn't fit in, okay? Acceptance. I accept that I choose to be an individual. I choose to be different than everybody else. I don't go out of my way to be different than everybody else. I just am. Accept that. Oh. So we never want to fit in a box. We never want to dim our light. We just want to be us, individuals, right? We just want to be able to, work in peace, live in peace, peace, having peace. That is truly what I would call success. Having peace is success. That makes me have fun. That makes me be able to laugh about things. Like, don't take life so serious. Yeah, we all have places to go. We all have things to do. How about just take a minute and have a piece of solemn, a piece of peace? You go sit in your car for 5 minutes during your break time. Just lean your seat back and Just close your eyes and have some peace. That's success to me, to have peace. So peace, like I said, it comes in many forms. Okay, acceptance is the doorway to freedom. Accepting what is going on releases any feelings of resistance and will help you feel liberated. This mermaid is at peace because she is in total acceptance of her situation. She asks you to release any resistance or desires of wishing things to be different, and to totally trust and accept things exactly as they are. Our ego can become very demonstrative when things don't work out the way we planned. Yet, once we release any desire for possible outcomes and surrender fully to the divine plan, things have a habit of working out even better than we might have imagined. When we're in a state of acceptance, it means positive solutions can more easily flow towards us. We literally drop any barriers to solutions and energetically welcome in new and creative answers to our dilemmas. Accepting your lot isn't a negative outlook. Through acceptance comes peace, and through peace comes breakthrough. Many enlightened masters lived in a state of acceptance, which enables their spirit to soar to infinite heights so they could merge energetically with the divine to become at one. If this card appears next to trust, which it doesn't because we only pulled one, so I'll skip that. In any event, we all want to be having a form of relief and peace of mind. Meditation can help you achieve a state of peaceful acceptance. Perhaps there's something or someone you need to forgive. Remember, forgiveness is another form of acceptance. So, this acceptance, the forgiveness, maybe I shouldn't be selective, but I am. I have to accept that I'm selective. I forgive everybody who's ever hurt me. However, there's only certain people that I'll ever allow in my life again. I accept what they did. I accept that it hurt. I accept that it was not called for. I accept that they had issues that they were trying to impose on me. I have accepted that it's okay for me to forgive them. What I haven't accepted is I don't want it back in my life. I don't want their drama. I don't want their antics or whatever. There are certain things that they have to do to make themselves happy because everybody else is afraid to say to them, look, I don't appreciate your attitude. I don't like how you come at me. How about you accept that? That's kind of how I feel. So instead of being bothered and let myself get all worked up and all that, I say to the world, whoever hurt me out there, I forgive you. Doesn't mean I necessarily want you back in my life. The ones that know that I want them back in my life are to a certain degree back in my life. So, I close myself off to people who are purposeful in negativity. How's that? Does that make better sense? Okay, you're so purpose. Let's see what we have today. We have the composer, blue topaz. That's topaz is the November, and I was born in November. In case you wanted to know. Okay, affirmation. I understand how sounds and work create my life. I experience inspired thoughts due to sound, music, and songs around me. Lyrics flow through me and remind me of many possibilities available to me. So I love to sing. My voice sometimes is really good actually, but sometimes it is a little crackly. And crackly is probably due to my reading. If I'm reading for 3 hours a day, if I'm doing 3 postings and they're about an hour a day, yeah, I'm talking. So I love to sing though. I get my little cell phone and I put it on the YouTube on my mix. And I walk my dog and I get to a spot where I can let him off the leash where he's free to roam. And then I just turn my music up and I might dance a little, but I'm singing too. And that's kind of like my output, you know. Dancing's a good way to release the energy, right? Because like with COVID, they said everybody stay in. I didn't listen to that at all. I took my dog out when I wanted to take him out, and I'd go down to the park and have my music. Back then I had like these earphones and headphones or whatever. And yeah, I would put my music on and I'd dance for about 15 minutes. Never felt any anxiety from the COVID, but a lot of other people did. You know, I imagine people who had their small children who were all locked up inside for weeks at a time. It must have been really difficult for the little ones. Okay. Composer in blue topaz, are you aware of the effect the tone of your voice has on yourself or others? Tone, sound, and timbre all play a part of how you express yourself and how what you say is perceived. In music, a composer develops a pattern of notes on the musical staff, combining the frequencies of sound to create an original music form. In life, you compose the words you speak. Your words are the lyrics that create your reality. The vibrationally matching gemstone for this life path is blue topaz, a stone of creative inspiration. It inspires those who are composing something, whether it is a musical piece, a song, or a way of life. It is a useful stone for musicians, helping them tune into their muse. This stone of mental clarity can also be your ally when you want to be more consciously aware of how the harmonic vibrations of the sounds you emit affects others. When you draw the composer in blue topaz card, you are being reminded of the many possibilities available to you for composing your reality. This card is a call to create harmony in your life. Consider the part you play in maintaining a harmonious atmosphere in your home and other sacred space, such as your work environment. You can create harmony by using the sound and rhythm of your voice in various and virtually unlimited ways to bring ease and understanding to those who hear you. Bring harmonic sounds into your environment to align with the spiritual levels of sound. Blue topaz often calls to my mind the compassionate, loving vibes of Mother Mary and all my heavenly angels, my entourage. I use blue topaz as an ally to help me feel the presence of the divine in my energy field. So, now this part about how the harmonic vibrations of the sounds you emit affect others. That's, when I was reading that this time, it made me think about, like, when I'm angry. It's like, when I'm angry, everybody knows I'm angry. Because it's kind of like I'm still like John Wayne, gritting my teeth and still trying to get my voice to come out, right? And that's another way how you can measure other people, right? You measure what they're going through and how they're talking to you when their voices go from like a soft tone, kind of, I don't know. I don't even know if it's right, but I want to think like a monotone. It stays the same. But as soon as it starts getting to be like a high pitch, or, you know, you can see the energy change. Yeah. Got to be careful because you don't want to set anybody off. Next is animal messages. And we have the dolphin. So like my neighbor, he's like 75. And so, you know, I mean, I repeat a lot of stuff too, but whenever I see him, he repeats his story, and then I remind him, and then he's like, oh, okay, and then he kind of apologizes and stops talking, and I say, it's okay, you know, we all do it. I'm just letting you know, you already told me. And, you know, when you live alone, and then you see someone, you have so much to say, right? So that's another thing, is I'm guilty of that too. So living alone, yeah, when I see people, I can be anxious to speak, but I kind of really like to keep it to a minimum, really. Let's see. So we're on dolphin. Tune into the rhythm of your breath to find stillness and patience. Playful, sleek swimmer, gregarious, intelligent mammal who 60 million years ago bestrode the earth on 4 legs. Dolphin has adapted more elegantly to her world than any other creature. She embodies patience and shows how, with time and slow determination, you can create wonders, move mountains, and become the person your heart desires. Dolphin must still breathe salty air as she moves rhythmically through the waves and counsels that breathing techniques can heal body and soul and transport you to other planes. Okay. Next, we have, okay, we're about 56 minutes in. We have the tarot. And I did my pre-shuffle. Okay. So I actually saw the Justice card. That's at the bottom, 9 of coins. Seen the Justice card when I was doing my shuffling. So, you know, sometimes that resonates. I would say it'd be nice if we had justice every day, right? That everything just ran the way it should. Like everybody's good and happy, no one gets hurt, nobody has accidents, everybody's paying attention, everybody's doing their job, kids are going to school, making it there on time, they're not getting in trouble, there's no phone calls to the parents, the kids eat all their lunch. My uncle's wife works at the cafeteria here at the school. It goes, junior high is somewhere else now. Junior high is on Main Street, which used to be 1st and 2nd grade when I was growing up. It was a brand new school then. And then now it's junior high's over there. So I think it's 6th, 7th, and 8th, or I don't know, maybe it's just 7th and 8th. And then the regular school is kindergarten, and I think they have preschool there too. Preschool, kindergarten, all the way up to whatever, 6th or 7th grade. But she works at the cafeteria, and she's like, oh, these kids, they waste the food. Like if an orange has a little spot on it, the kids won't eat it. If it has, the apple has a little spot on it, they won't eat it. You know, they're just kids. And they're required to put all that stuff on. Maybe they should just ask the students what they want to eat, like going through a line, right? But she says there's a lot of waste. So, I don't know, maybe the school needs to send a notice home and let the parents know that the kids aren't eating all of their lunch. Kind of thing. But, you know, back in the day, I think they used to be able to give the food to, like the senior center, right? The food that wasn't eaten. But I don't know, with all the rules now about too many hands touching food, I think they have to just throw it away. Which is really, that's like a dumb rule, because people could take that food home. And, you know, if you have like a whole bag of apples, right? You can make an apple pie or something. So, and then, you know, there's people who have, I always try to take some food, well, when I have extra money and stuff, I always try to take some food down to the cows. And there's one male one, he comes right up to me when I call to him. And then if I don't have anything, I'll just pull the grass that's on the other side, like on my side of the fence, because they can't reach it. And it's really tall grass. And I'll just pull it and feed him through the fence. He likes it. And you know, even in Hawaii, they have, well, the restaurant's not there that I know. I mean, it's definitely not there. It was called Wailana. And it was in right at the beginning of of Waikiki. And it was just like the breakfast house, right? Served breakfast 24 hours. And they did have whatever lunch and dinner items, but you could always get breakfast there. But they used to have those big 50-gallon containers, the metal bins, and they would put all the slop in there, all the leftovers, and then some guy would come with a big truck, and he'd swap out the big, like the big oil cans. He'd swap them out for fresh ones, and then he'd take all those, I guess, put the lid on and haul it down to the north side of the island where his pigs were, and his pigs got good food, wasn't getting wasted. How's that? It's a good thing. Then on Facebook, it's YouTube, there was a country, I don't know, a small town like in Switzerland or someplace like that. And they offered all the townspeople 3 chickens. 3 chickens per household. And then it reduced their green waste by, like the scraps, right? Those chickens ate all the scraps, so it wasn't going into the landfill. That's a big savings, but we're not that intelligent here. We think it makes too much sense. I think that's a great idea. If we did it just in this country alone, there would be so much less waste. And just makes it better. So let me do my cut. And then I'll start pulling. One more. At the bottom is the 8 of Swords. So is someone feeling locked up, or they're figuring, I'm not really locked up, I can get out of this. It's going to be different for everybody. The 8 of Swords is feeling like you have 8 swords around you like a fence. 6 of Cups is nostalgic. Thinking of someone from your past, or someone from your past is thinking about you in a loving, kind way. Missing you, or you're missing somebody. The Temperance card. Maybe somebody is missing you so much that they have to concentrate on being tempered, right? So they're not obsessed. Maybe it's a feeling of missing someone without the obsession. And Temperance. Moderation, self-control, economy, patience, consolidation, harmony. Successful combination, friendship, recuperation. Could be unfilled desires, discord, stubbornness, hostility, clashing of interest. I think that's if it's turned upside down. But basically it's moderation and self-control and patience. So maybe someone says, hey, I really miss my person. I really miss my person. I don't want to be obsessed about it, but I'm having a hard time figuring out how can I reconnect. I want to be patient about it, but, maybe I want to see that person again and just have some good conversations like we used to, right? We were like really close friends. What happened? Okay, next we have the Judgment. The Judgment says, you've had all this time. We've sent you this message that, this could very well be your person. You think about them all the time, and when you think about them, they think about you. You both really like each other. Chances are you both are used to people chasing you. So you're at a stagnant, place. Right? Could be. Okay. So how do we get past that? I'm thinking about you, you're thinking about me. I don't want to be obsessed with you, but yeah, I dream about you. Sometimes I feel like we are really energetically connected because when I'm thinking about you a certain way, somehow you get the message. And the judgment's saying, hey, you guys aren't getting these feelings for nothing. You know, you need to work on yourselves, and when you're ready, you need to know that if you've already had a fated meeting, even if it was energetically, this is a divine connection. What are you going to do about it? You know, back in the day, you know, it was always the man that chased the woman. Now it's kind of a reverse thing. The women are chasing the men. Well, some of them. I don't really like chasing men. And I don't really expect them to chase me. I just expect them to, you know, do the gentlemanly thing, right? Reach out and make a phone call. So if you're a dude out there, you know, and you're thinking about somebody, maybe you should just call them and say, hey, it's been 1 year, it's been 3 years, it's been 10 years, and, you know, I've just been thinking about you a lot. How are you doing? What have you been doing with your life? Let's get together. Let's have a cup of tea. Let's have a cup of coffee. Let's go sit down on the beach and talk about old times and feel the breeze go through our hair and get some sand, you know, around our feet like we used to. If you did, in fact, used to. Okay, whatever your story is, it's yours. Okay, so now we have the Knave of Swords. For some reason, I think all of the swords in this deck, all the court cards, they all look shifty. This guy's, he's got his third eye in the wrong spot. Okay, so he can, if he has another eye back there, he can see behind his head, right? So he's watching. The Knave of Swords. Is he a learning guy? Is he a messenger? Is he, I think he's a learning guy. Oh, he's the spy, observer, intelligence, vigilant, examination, indiscretion, surprise. The unknown, unseen, unexpected, stealth, cunning. Outspoken, sometimes at a cost, but skillful at handling controversy. So this person can kind of throw some words around and determine what it means on his own accord. And although it might hurt someone's feelings, he can talk his way out of it. So it's kind of like what is that? Underhanded compliments. So if someone's handing you underhanded compliments, know that they don't really feel that way, because who does that? You know, they got some real issues if they're going to do that, right? So I don't know how the Knave of Swords fits in this story yet. So we'll keep picking. We have the Two of Wands. Okay, so now I'm seeing part of a story now. So this was first. So the Two of Wands is always a choice, right? So maybe whoever this person is, right, knows who the choice was, or he knows the choice of who it is that this person's thinking of, right? And he's given these underhanded compliments, these underhanded statements. Why are you thinking about this person? Why do you have so much patience for them? You have, you're always thinking about them. You're always talking about them. And how do you know it's divine? How do you know that that's your divine person? Are you really sure? Are you like, did you have too much to drink last night? Did you get enough rest? Obviously, you're not of the right mind. So when you have these kind of visions, you know, if you have your intuition on and you get these visions, these gut feelings, you know, you have to know it's divine, right? If it's, that's your heart. That's like who you're thinking about has your heart. Maybe you have that person's heart as well. But do you really know? Because it looks like you want to choose them. And this person's saying, these are all the reasons why you shouldn't choose this person. Like, this guy's putting himself higher than the judgment card. The message from God. These, you know, they say the major arcanas are like, they're the messages from God. He thinks he's above God. He's like, how many times have I told you? The one you chose is the one for you, not the one that you know that you missed, that you long for. That's not for you. You might think it is in your gut, but I'm telling you, take it from me who knows nothing. Right? I'm telling you, I know. Because see, I got an eye right here. It's not my third eye, but I do have an extra eye. But, okay, that's how I'm really seeing it, though. I see that someone's thinking about someone from their past. They're realizing that that person has some sort of significance in their life. They don't know how. They're like, how can I feel this way about this person? You know, I only knew him for 3 months, and I didn't even know him. He was just an acquaintance. Okay? The judgment's saying, why do you keep questioning heaven? This is your perfect person. No wonder you miss them. He's saying, no, I don't believe in God. I don't believe what you're saying. How can you have these extra sensory perceptions that I don't have? You need to tell him, because I do. It's part of my heart and part of my gut. Don't you have a heart? Do you have a gut? Okay, so someone's saying that they chose wrong and they really want to go back there. But how can they go back there? Is their ego too big? Let's see. The Two of Cups. Exactly. Okay. 2-2. A wrong choice. Originally, they know that, you know, they let that person slip through their fingers. And yeah, energetically, possibly, they share each. He's given her a cup of love, and she's given him a cup of love, even if it's energetic. Or it could be in person. I don't know, it's your story. Put it where it fits, you know. 3 of Coins, that's collaboration. That's working on, this is like a group effort. So, could be 3 people, could be helpful to, you know, your union. You're wanting to make a change. You know that it's going to make you happy. And when you elevate high and you're happy, that's when you can really manifest. So who wants to stay in this Knave of Swords mindset? Because he's too busy watching everybody else. How can he elevate? How can he even get to a manifestation energy in his life if he's being cunning, if he's being a spy, if he's being, you know, right? He's not focusing on himself, he's focusing on everybody else. Okay, so The Three of Coins, basically in this book, it talks about a group of people working together. Oh, I take that back. I'm sorry. It says, Three of Coins says, mastery, skill, and accomplishment, good reputation in work, business, expertise built on experience, craftsmanship, high status, honors earned. So, for some reason, I thought that one said, I thought the 2 was money flowing in and out, and I thought the 3 was like a group people. So how does that fit in here now? Could very well be that this Knave of Swords is actually the one that's missing somebody, that wants to be patient and wants to maybe elevate. You know, he wants to be patient and safe. You know, he wants to guard this, and he himself has had the visions. He himself knows in his gut feeling and in his heart that this person, whoever this person is, he could be protecting. So he's either for the situation or he's not. You got to put it in your story. All right, but definitely, maybe he's never made a choice before. Maybe he was just always in for the quickie, right? You know, what do they say? I got a girl in each area code or whatever they say. And then maybe he's just deciding, I'm tired of doing this whole, you know, sleep with every Jane, Maria, Betty, right? I just want one, and this is the one I want. And I will change my ways because I know it's going to take, you know, it's going to take me being the best me in order for her to acquire me and me to acquire her. If it suits your story that way, you know, reverse the sexes if you need to. And maybe I'm going to put down my sword because I want her to choose me just as well as I want to choose her. Therefore, we can exchange a cup of love between each other, and we can master this connection and make it solid. Okay, next we have the sun. The sun. That's success. If I can have this person back in my life, I will promise him or her that I will have a higher level of temperance. I will call judgment on what I've done in the past to push him or her away and to let him know that it was not meant for them to just run off and be away from me, if this is me, right? Wasn't my intention to run you off and have me never see you again. I was guarding myself. I've been hurt before, but I wasn't able to tell you that because I thought you wouldn't have such a good light on me anymore. So I said nothing. I pushed you away. I'm really sorry. I wasn't ready to choose. I was busy thinking that maybe love didn't exist. Maybe I'm just supposed to play the field my whole life because of my past hurts. I'm finding out now that no matter how I tried to run away from you, you're always on my mind. I mastered a skill of wearing a mask, but it hasn't got me anywhere. Because I'm still here. And I know that only you will make me happy. And if need be, I'll shut down the moon to have the light on you for the rest of my life. Because I've decided what makes me happy, what is going to be my total success in my lifetime is you. And I want to have fun with you. I want to make memories with you. I think that we can do projects together and be very successful. You know, I have ideas, you have ideas. We put them together, you know, we meld it. You know, we take out a little piece here and there until it's a perfect piece of pie, and then we sell it. So now we have 222. 222. I'm sorry, I took the low road. I want the high road with you now. I want to celebrate with you. I want to let you know that you are the only one. That I'm tired of the third parties. I'm tired of the constant partying with people that just use me for what I can give them. Whether it's just a quick sex thing or I'm providing for them with the funding of the gathering. I want to celebrate with you. You're my queen. Or this could be you. You're saying, I am the queen. I am the queen. I am deserving. I am not going to settle for some little knave when I can have a king. Are you going to boss up? Or are you going to stay where you're at? Oh, we're going to collaborate? We're going to have 6 sources of income? You have 3 ideas and I have 3 ideas. Let's start by collaborating, discussing which one should we do first and how we should do it and make it a joint venture. Then we can move on to the next idea. You know, until we are successful. But you want to come to her with just a little offer because you have fear that if you give her everything that she's just going to take everything. Because that's happened to you before, I'm not sure how many times, but you cannot take what happened to you in the past and bring it forward. So you're going to have to put that little idea to rest and just boss up. And there's the Queen of Swords. Is this someone trying to stop you from moving forward? Or is it someone trying to protect what it is that you are trying to acquire? So this Queen of Swords is for you or against you? Or has she played both sides of the fence? If she's played both sides of the fence, then you know she's for herself, not for you. The Four of Swords. So you're putting what was in your past. This is laying to rest whatever was. Are you laying to rest the things that put you down the wrong path? Because you kind of have to move forward, right? You have to put everything to rest that held you back before. that was evident, that you watched, that you learned, you stayed silent, you started gathering receipts. Whatever receipts are of those that were for you, well, then you get to choose that they stay in your life. Those who you have receipts that went against you, did underhanded things to you, those are the ones you have to leave behind. And you have to be okay with it, right? Yeah. You've learned your lesson. You're saying, hey, I have my receipts. See how you guys had me all tied up? You know, how many times did you guys hit me? This looks like punch marks, right? You guys got me from behind. You guys were beating me up. I didn't even know it. Here I was pouring all my pictures. My pictures of beer. We were all out having fun. And now I see the truth is I got to leave some people behind because you were never for me. Four of coins. When you did that, God said, good for you. Now I'm going to give you some heavenly inheritance. What are you choosing? Are you choosing some money? Are you choosing a good job? Are you choosing discernment? Are you choosing like your third eye chakra to be heightened and your crown chakra to be heightened so that you can really receive messages from me? That's God speaking, right? Four of coins is inheritance. God must have asked you to do something, and he said that's what your inheritance would be. And so you watched and you learned and you saw who was who on the chessboard of your life, and you decided, I'm not playing the little bit in my story. I'm going to stop being afraid. I'm choosing to be better than that because everybody has seen how good I am and really what good qualities I have. And I always try to tuck them down because, well, I wanted to fit in. And there's the moon. Let's see. So the moon talks about dark magic. It talks about things happening at night. But the one thing I could tell you about this reading is we have the sun, the star, and the moon. What does that mean to me? That means God has fully illuminated everything about your life. He's told you that if you want success in your life, you better start loving yourself first. You better start putting yourself first. You better stop showboating and throwing your money around and throwing whatever body parts around. You better have some self-respect and some self-love and some frickin' self-integrity. I've illuminated everything you need to know. Now, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to be this? Or are you going to be of all of this? God is going to grant you a new beginning with everything illuminated in your path. The only way that you can fail here is to do nothing, is to not honor your path, the one that you signed before you landed here as a little baby. Everything's been illuminated to you. Don't let yourself down. Be your biggest hero. You have the strength, you have the knowledge, you have the desire. Don't listen to a knave of coins or a knave of swords or a queen of swords. You have divine connection. Everything's been illuminated. You want success. You have to follow God's lead. You have to follow God's lead. This is success in this world. And when you speak your words that God is going to illuminate to you, it's going to open so many doors. You are going to be so protected because you are like the main warrior of love, like the gladiator of love, right? You have your own name, gladiator of love, the ultimate fighter of love. You will always be protected. Speak about love. Tell your story of how you were hurt and how you healed yourself and how you learned that loving yourself was the beginning to, get in God's good grace, right? All right, so I'm going to pull 3 more cards just to pull them because I think having all of these kind of says everything. Whoever you are out there. So we have an Ace of Coins, so that's your choice. Are you going to do what God's illuminated to you and have a fresh start? You're going to have to blow up whatever's you're leaving behind, right? And someone's going to be heartbroken over it. But that's not your path. It could be your path. Do you want this path? Or do you want this path? Do you want this? Or do you want this? I don't know. I choose this. And I choose this. It was my choice. Who gets to have everything illuminated? Like, who gets to have that? This should be an indication, whoever this reading's for, that you have a serious job here on earth. How many times does God tell me, I'm not going to tell you everything you need to know, just take a leap of faith. And that's what I did. I didn't have all this illuminated to me. My illumination came after I took the leap of faith. And if you're still there waiting to make a choice, who gets this? Someone who's really close to God that doesn't even know they're close to God. So, this is your choice. You have a new beginning. You can have that with everything illuminated for you because you're obviously one of God's special children. And I'm not saying it in a jealous or a bad way or anything. I just know that for me, a lot of things weren't illuminated until I said, God, I'm ready to take the leap of faith. Have you said that already? Have you seen the signs? Have you paid attention? Okay. Or if you don't want to do anything, this is going to happen anyways, right? The tower's going to, the tower's going to happen for you. And you're going to either be miserable and heartbroken, or you're going to be this. I want to be successful. I want to have a new beginning. I'm so thankful, God, that you recognize who I am. I didn't recognize who I was. I didn't know that if I just asked God, just tell me what the path is, tell me what I'll be doing, tell me how it's going to go. Because I have pains from my prior times, right? Living life. I'm afraid to move unless I know everything. God says, here, I'm going to illuminate everything for you because I really want you on this path. I know you're going to be happier. I know good things are going to come to you. If I have to illuminate everything for you, I'm willing to do that. Now, what are you willing to do? Do you want that? Okay. Whoever this reading's for, congratulations. I wish you the best. And if you don't feel like it's for you, I still thank you for spending your time with me, and I still wish you the best. Okay? I'm sending you love, light, peace, and harmony. I pray that you have a lot of faith and hope and love in God. And God bless you all. We'll see you on the next reading, okay? All right? Okay, aloha. Bye.